see the problem. Some dumbass done wired this pipe out of a cutting stand. Let me go get my tools. Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with video. Yes, it's been forever since I've done any kind of cutting content. But that is not why we're here. It's challenge time, motherfuckers! Now, you're probably wondering, Outlaw, what's with the PEX pipe? Is this some sort of backyard cutting science video? Well, no. This is just a fun little challenge I cooked up while I was bored doing stalking at Menards. So, what this challenge is you take a 5-foot piece of PEX piping, which is $2 at your local Menards, like $1.80 after rebate. Your choice of thickness, I went with, hold on a second, 3/4 of an inch. And you can do this with spare PEX you have lying around. You don't necessarily have to buy a whole piece just to do this challenge. But, to each their own. I didn't have any spare lying around, so I had to go through the alternate route. Now, what is the challenge, you may ask? Well, if you can tell by looking at this pipe, there are markings at regular intervals. Every 5 inches, to be precise. This is a cutting challenge. I suppose you could also say this is somewhat of a backyard science thing, because honestly, this looks like a piece of blue bamboo at this point. Now, what the challenge is, you can cut it any way you want, provided that you cut in between the black marks. You can cut as many times in between each mark as you want. You can make the marks as close or as far apart as you want, provided that you stay between the black marks with each cut. Now, as I am the one who proposed this challenge, I must be the first one to attempt it. And now, realizing that there's a tree branch about 3 feet above my head, I set this in a very opportune positioning, but we will endeavor this nonetheless with sun in my face. Now, it should be noted that the ends, the factory cutoff, or whatever is the end of the pipe, is also considered a mark. So this would technically be considered the first mark, the second, the third, the fourth, so on and so forth. I chose to do 5 inches simply because this is my first attempt, and I didn't want to be too generous, yet make it too difficult. I feel like these are good spacing intervals. If I do this challenge again, I may do every 3 inches, and see how far along I get. You can even make this into like a game if you have some sword friends over. Okay, I did cut into it. Let's try that again. Okay, all my cuts so far are landing exactly. Oh, I cut one of the marks. It's too bendy to cut all the way through. Up at the very tip. I should have gotten a different cutting stand out and taped this down. That's probably my bad. So far, so good. Man, this is not going as well as I thought it would. Hold on a moment. Ah, boom, yeah. Ah, boom, yeah. Dumbasses are doing something. Okay, so your results may vary doing this. Or it's sharp. That's not going nowhere. Sure it's still in frame. I'm going to scoot this back so I have more free available room. And can see without the sun in my eyes. Okay, so that cut is also within the good marking. You know what, I'm just going to leave it like this, and every time I make a successful cut between the markings, I'm going to count it. So slight rule update halfway through. As long as you land any form of cut between the marks, you can count it if you so desire. Like that. Honestly, it probably... Ooh! Okay, so in a situation like this where you cut directly on the line, I'm going to go by archery rules, and whatever portion of the cut is above or below the line in greater amounts is what will be counted. So it's above the line here more. So it's going to be counted towards this section. Ooh, that's right in the middle of that. Right, smack dab in the middle again. Ooh, cut that right in half. Skidded the line. Okay. So I'm not even going to try to cut these last bottom pieces. Simply because I don't see the point. But yeah. For the most part, it wasn't too bad. I think the major reason why I had so much trouble cutting this is because it is 3/4 inch pecs. And usually, I think last time I cut pecs, I used 1/2 inch, which is a bit stiffer than the 3/4 inch. So it appears that your choice in pecs will also affect how well this challenge goes. Again, watch the video all the way through for all the rules and such. So what did you think, my noble band of outlaws? Tell me what you think down in the comments below. And update, Outlaw Granny is doing fine. She's back to her old self. She wants to come home, but the doctors say that she has to go to rehab for a week because of how much she's been laying down in bed at the hospital. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, I'll lost my tails, all y'all be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons. I'm out, peace, and thank you for your support for Outlaw Granny.